Okay, so welcome to the episode 3 recap. This episode opens up with Hannah and Justin in like a piano room, and they're like writing a song together. and they're flirtingly playing the piano and like looking at each other, and then Justin like starts like stroking her cheek. And I was like, yo, Justin, calm down. You're putting hella moves on a girl you think is in a relationship. And then they kiss. And I was like, what? And then they really kiss. And then they start doing more than kiss. And it's getting hot and heavy and steamy in this room. And then it's not, because then Hannah's starting to be like, oh, I think Hannah's just having troubles finishing. Just having troubles finishing. And I was like, is this a nightmare? Is this a nightmare? And then she like wakes up in bed like screaming. It's a nightmare. If you watch only the show, at this point you're like starting to realize that like Hannah's having a complex relationship with intimacy, like physical intimacy, and you're just like, oh, like why? If you read the book, you know why, but if you're watching the show, you're like, why? What's happening? So anyway, after Hannah's nightmare, she's basically nervous to meet Justin to work on their like song project, and either she calls Garrett or Garrett calls her, and this phone call they have is one of my favorites because they feel like friends. You know what I mean? Like they feel like two people who actually like each other. And the fact that, like, she just tells him like, oh, I'm genuinely nervous to go meet Justin, and like I don't know, they just feel like friends, like two people who are like actually comfortable around each other. And that made me like super excited to see like how their relationship was gonna progress further on, because one of my favorite things in like rom-coms is when you genuinely believe they like each other even outside of the romance. Like they're just two people comfortable being around each other. And in that phone call, she was talking to him like he was one of her friends. Like she was talking to him like he was one of her girlfriends. She was just like, I'm really nervous to meet Justin because I like him and blah blah blah, like just being honest and vulnerable. And I love that. But then he goes, Hannah, you're the catch, act like it. And I'm like, broski, don't say annoying phrases that make me want to punch you. Although like when I'm saying it out loud, it doesn't sound as bad, but when the way he said it, maybe it's just like I don't like how men talk. Because when they say stuff, I'm like, is this rage bait? But then when I say it out loud, I'm like, it doesn't sound that bad. Okay, either way, he said, you're the catch, act like it. And I was like, I'm gonna put hands on you. So Allie and Justin meet up and they keep working on her song, which to me still does not sound like a pop song. But maybe like for me, the only real, like not the only real, but like the pop artists I know, they're like Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, and their songs are like super upbeat. So when she's writing like something slower, that I was like, is that pop? I don't know, like yeah, I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like Hannah's songs. Like even she don't like her songs right now anyway, because every time I hear them, I'm just like, girl, if you don't go sit down. And then so we open on a scene with Allie and Shawn, like they're in the shower and they're just talking about their future and their relationship. And Shawn tells Allie that he thought that she would outgrow acting, basically quit it, move with him to Vermont to be his wife while he works in like insurance. And I was like, the girl is majoring in acting. Like she's paying tuition. She's paying a lot of money to have someone teach her how to act. Why would you think she would outgrow it? Why would you think she's not serious about it? That was like the most, like that was so rude to me and so reductionist. I was like, bro, you're an op. You're genuinely an op. Because how can you think that if she was just like waking up, not doing anything to like get better at acting but kept saying, oh, I want to be an actress one day, you'd be like, well, yeah, she's gonna outgrow this. But if she goes to university to pursue acting, no, you don't think, oh, she's gonna outgrow this. Like, bro, don't piss me off. Ever since Shawn said that, I was just like, this is why I support women's wrongs. This is why I was like, Ali and Dean dancing at the party, y'all are right, because obviously your husband's a brat. Sorry, not your husband, your boyfriend, he's a little brat. But still, cheating's wrong. Just, I said that. I'm a Shawn hater now. Like, if Shawn has 5 haters, I'm one of them. If he has 2, I'm one of them. If he has no haters, I'm dead. I will forever hate him for that. And then, so Hannah goes to Garrett's house to go tutor him, and you know, he lives in a frat house with like a bunch of the other hockey guys. I think it's John, Logan, Dean, and Tucker. And she meets John Logan on the doorstep, and John Logan is such a beautiful man, and I think he has a crush on Hannah, and I hate it so much. He has a crush on Hannah, but he's such a beautiful man, and his eyes are pretty, and I'm sure his soul is pretty, and I'm just like, bro, please don't have a crush on Hannah. You're just gonna make yourself sad. The way he's like gazing at her, and like, you know, before she enters Garrett's house, like she meets John Logan on the doorstep, right? And he like starts making conversation with her, and he remembers the car she used to drive because he was the mechanic that fixed it at one point. And I was just like, you beautiful soul, please don't have a crush on Hannah. And low-key, John Logan, he also seems a little, like a teensy wincy little bit jealous of Garrett, because he has like a throwaway line where he goes, well, we can't all be Garrett Graham. And I was like, oh my god, please don't be jealous. Please don't like Hannah, because like she's not gonna end up with you, and I don't want you to like ruin your friendship because you guys are on the hockey team together. And like, his eyes are pretty, so I will never root against him, but like, John Logan, please don't have a crush on Hannah. Okay, so anyway, that happens, and then Hannah enters the house, and she walks up to Garrett's room, and she walks in on Garrett giving some girl the business. I was like, yo. Like, what the hell, bro? Oh my god. My mouth can't explain what my eyes saw, but my eyes saw a lot of things. I was like, wow, a lot was happening. So basically, like, she runs out of the room, and she's like mad as hell at him. She's like, you know, if you're not taking this tutoring thing seriously, then like I'm not gonna take it seriously either. And like, you're like, I told you I was gonna come around at this time. Like, what the hell? I don't want to have to see that, blah blah blah. And he was like, you're right, I'm sorry, I'll be more careful. And one of my favorite things about this is that Hannah's not jealous, because it's so nice where like, even though 2 people are gonna end up together, it's not like one person's just like deeply pining and like miserable, and the other person's just like, whoa, I'm having the time of my life. And so I was like, yeah, I enjoyed that. So anyway, Garrett apologizes. He said like, it's not gonna happen again, I'm gonna be way more careful, you're not gonna have to walk in on me and somebody ever again. And then they start talking about like, I think Nietzsche. Yeah, they just go back to their tutoring stuff. The next scene, we have Justin and Hannah in her room, like songwriting, and like they're actually hitting it off. I think Justin's British, because he sounds like Harry Styles to me. Like, he just has a nice accent. I was like, is that like, are you British? Are you British? So they're actually like bonding over music, and not even, I wouldn't really say it's like super romantic, but they're just like having like a good bond, like writing and having like what I'd call at least a friendly encounter. And then Justin's like, so I think Justin sings he sings a sample that she likes, and he's like, oh, let me send it to you. And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And she gives him her laptop so he can send it to her. and he opens it, and the first thing he sees is like a Spotify playlist with his face on it, and it's like the title is Crushing, and I literally gasped for her. Like, it was so bad luck. Like, I was like, girl, if you should have just dropped dead after that. Like, it was. And then the worst part is, like, he literally bolted out of the room after that. Like, he bolted. I was like, oh, the bad luck in that was so strong for no reason. I was like, oh my god, it was so bad. I would have died. I would literally have just been like, okay, that's it. Like, let me die now. It was bad. Okay, so remember that, like, remember that Hannah is tutoring Garrett so that he can, like, pass this oral presentation and not fail the class. Well, today is the day of the oral presentation, and before that he's nervous. He's like, oh, what if I do badly? What if she doesn't ask about, like, a philosopher that I know, blah blah blah. And once again, Hannah uses the hockey analogy, which I hate. I just hate it so much. Because why can't she just tell him, like, bro, like, take a deep breath, you're fully prepared, just go out there and you're gonna do amazing. Instead, she gotta be like, think about our teacher as the defenseman from Eastwood, and, like, do a hockey reference thing and another hockey reference thing, and, like, hockey. And I was just like, you know why it bothers me? It's like, if you study accounting and you're like, oh, I'm nervous about driving a car, and someone's like, imagine the car as an Excel balance sheet. You wouldn't be like, oh yeah, this makes sense. You'd be like, girl, if you don't shut up, I'll beat your ass. Like, oh my god. I hate when people do that, like, oh, you play a sport, I will explain everything to you in terms of the sport, even if, like, you just don't need to. But yeah, Garrett does his oral presentation. He gets a B plus, and he's like, yay, I'm happy, yay, yay, yay. Which, since, like, I took one philosophy class, got a C minus on my first midterm and dropped it, I was like, congrats on your B plus. Congrats. Philosophy is horrible. I suck at it so much because I'm not gonna go on a philosophy rant, but, like, I'm not good at philosophy. Then after the presentation, they're in the courtyard. Hannah is talking to Garrett, and then I think Justin Cole, like, comes up to her or something. I think Justin texts her, and she's about to text him back or something, and then Garrett is like, no, you should ghost him for a little bit. Oh, I know why. I think because, like, Justin bolted out of the room, Garrett was like, no, if you want him to like you, just don't respond for a little while, just so he knows you're chill about him. And, like, this is my thing about, like, fake dating tropes, because they need the most contrived reason for two grown-up people to fake date. Because think about it logically. If you like a guy and he's, like, showing interest in you, the best way to lock him down is to ghost him, flirt with some different random guy, kiss some different random guy in his presence, like, date some different random guy in his presence, so that he will want you so much more. And also, don't text him back when he texts you. Like, I was like, the logic is logicking, I guess, but I'm not gonna lie, I like Hannah and Garrett together anyway, so I was like, yeah, guys, keep making up contrived reasons to fake date. Just as long as you guys are staying together, I don't care. So now we're, like, back in the bedroom, and Allie and Hannah are talking about Allie's relationship with Shawn, and Allie's just been like, this is so hard, like, I love Shawn and we've been together for, like, 2 years, but, like, he doesn't really respect my acting, he doesn't really see it as a career for me, he, like, it's so complex. But she doesn't want to break up because I think her mom died of cancer, and one of the things her mom told her before passing on was, like, never give up on love. And so she's like, if I dump Shawn, is this me giving up on love and, like, not respecting my mother's, like, advice? And Allie is struggling with how to deal with her relationship with Shawn, basically. That's just, like, the long and short of it. So then, like, I guess to take their minds off Shawn and Allie's trauma and all of that, they go to a bar. So they go to the bar and Hannah's hanging out with Garrett. And so, okay, I'm sorry, I have to reference the book because I just started reading it at the same time. Like, I read the book so I could watch the show with knowledge, so I have to talk about the book. And in the book, I told you that in the book and in the show, Hannah told Garrett she doesn't drink at parties, right? So in the show this time, um, Hannah and Garrett are at the bar, right? And he tells her, like, do you want to be sober? And he's like, if you don't want to, just know I've got your back. Like, I'm here. I will, like, I'll take care of you if you want to drink. And I'll take care of Allie too. Like, no pressure whatsoever. But, like, you don't have to not drink because you're scared. Because, like, I promise to, like, watch your back. And he says, I will guard your drinks with my life. And I really like this scene because he's just like, absolutely no pressure. I just want you to be happy, and I don't want you to not do things just because you're scared, because, like, I'll be there for you, right? And I think this is, like, this for me was so beautiful because in the book, what he says is basically like, I want you to drink. And he goes, like, in his mind, he's basically like, if she agrees to drink, it proves that she trusts me, and if she doesn't drink, then she doesn't trust me. And I was just like, what? Like, what do you mean you're gonna tell someone that tells you they don't want to drink that, like, you want them to drink? Like, you know what I mean? So because I didn't like how it was handled in the book, how they handled it in the show for me was just so, like, peaceful and beautiful. I love that so much. And then so Allie, again, you know, she's drunk, and sorry, not drunk, yeah, she is drunk, she's very drunk, but she's also going through, like, her boy struggles with Shawn. So she's in the, like, bathroom line for the washroom, and she's just telling everybody, she's like, my boyfriend doesn't like me, he doesn't have my back. Like, she's just miserable, and she's telling everybody, and none of the girls in line care, bro. They're just looking at her like, oh, why is she such a loud drunk? And I was just like, girl. And then, like, even when she gets into the actual, like, washroom and she's, like, sitting down to pee, she's still telling everybody, like, she's just talking out loud, like, ah, blah blah blah, this sucks, my heart is being broken, blah blah blah. I'm like, girl, girl, I love you so much. And so she comes out to wash her hand, and guess who's in the washroom? I bet you can't guess. I bet you money you can't guess. It's Dean. It's Dean. And I was like, bro, why are you in this washroom? And then you see, like, the lipstick on his mouth, and you're like, my guy. So basically, yeah, Dean hears about Allie's relationship woes. Now back to Garrett and Hannah. Hannah's like, you know what? Yes, I would like to drink. Let me find a drink I like. And so she drinks a bunch of, like, random stuff at first before she finds that she likes, I think, pina coladas. If you like pina coladas. I think it's pina coladas, and she drinks like 5 of them. So she's full on gone by the time they go home. And so yeah, Garrett stays sober. He drives Hannah and Allie, and he's about to drive them home, but then Hannah realizes that she left her purse in the bar, and her key is in her purse, and the bar is closed. So Garrett's like, I will drive you guys to my house, you can crash at my place. And so we see Garrett tuck Allie into bed. No, not into bed. He tucks her to sleep, and she sleeps on, like, the couch in his frat house, and it's so cute, bro. They're like mother and child. And Garrett's the mother. He tucks, like, he puts a blanket over her, and he's like, nighty night, or Allie says nighty night, and they just, it's so cute, bro. He's like a mama duck being like, sleep tight, my little one. I don't know, I thought it was so cute. Obviously we have the pure Dean tuck up, so we have the pure Garrett tucking Allie into bed. She's super cute. And then Garrett's, like, walking up the stairs, and you're just seeing random articles of Anna's clothes, and you're like, Hannah, where your clothes at? Like, you just see her shoe, her jeans, her top, her and you're like, yo, Hannah, why'd you do that? And so basically he enters his room, and she's just wearing his, like, hockey jersey. And I was like, Hannah. So like basically Garrett gets into his room and Hannah tries to put the moves on him, and he's like, she tries to kiss him and he's like, no, you're not gonna remember any of this tomorrow, so go to bed, like just sleep it off. This scene in the show is very different than in the books. In the books, she's drunk and he brings her to his house to crash there, and then after he puts her to bed, he goes downstairs and gets super drunk too. And then when he comes up, she like kisses him when she's drunk, and he's like, I'm too drunk to do anything, like my body's not even gonna like function right now, so just go back to bed. And then the next morning she wakes up and she's like, even though I drank like 5 pina coladas that day, that night I was of clear mind, and I meant to do everything I did. And I was just like, it's super like complex. So I liked how in the show they just like fully straightened it out. Like they kind of just like removed any potential wrinkles, and we're just, you know what, Garrett was sober, Garrett said no thank you, and I was okay with that. I was very happy with that. The next morning, oh, so after Hannah goes to bed, Garrett sleeps on the same bed, but he just like sleeps on his side, like nothing happens. And then she wakes up and she sees him beside her, and then she goes and gets him coffee, and he wakes up and he has the most suspicious look on his face because she's holding like a coffee cup like right in his face like this. He's like, what do you want? Like, what could you like, you've never brought me coffee in the morning before, what do you want? He looks so suspicious. I loved it. He's looking at her like hella suspicious, like, what do you want from me? Why are you offering me coffee? And then she basically tells him about how like 5 years ago she was assaulted at a party, and that basically gave her physical intimacy issues, and that like she couldn't finish with a guy. And so she's like, I want you to help me. I want you to I want to practice on you because you're a lower stakes. And she literally says you're a lower stakes, and I'm like, bro, that's so nice. That's such a nice thing to say to somebody. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it for you as a friend. And I was like, friendship, the power of friendship, yay. And then she keeps staring at him, and he goes like, what, you mean like right now? I was like, what? I know I've been like basically jumping up and down celebrating every change that they made, but one change that I kind of wish they had put in there was the watching Breaking Bad together, because it just feels like such a fun way to bond with someone, just like sitting up all night while binging 2 seasons of a goated show. I was like, kind of would have been nice if y'all had that, you know. But it's okay. I'm not judgy. I'm not upset about that. Once again, how are y'all feeling about the changes? Because I'm singing their praises up and down, but I've been on Instagram and some people are upset. Some people are like, I'm gonna beat your ass if I see you. I'm just kidding. But like some people are really like upset about the changes. So like, where are you guys on that?